looking at industries that have the same target audience. Like, you don't have to just pick a random, like, oh, I sell cheese, so I'm going to look at what the shoe industry is doing. Like, no, what we mean is look at cheese and shoes. Those are the things that are on my mind, apparently. But looking at what different industries are doing that still connect with your target audience. Yes, be smart about it. Hey everyone, welcome to the S.O.B. Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the S.O.B. that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean S.O.B.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the S.O.B. Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the S.O.B. Marketing Podcast. S.O.B. as in small-owned business. I promise we're not calling you guys names. Thank you for tuning in. You know, here at The Seasoned Marketer, we want to be a resource hub for small business owners like you so that you can feel confident and comfortable doing your own marketing. In case you're new here, Vivian and I are sisters. We are 15 years apart and somehow both managed to go into the marketing world. So now we try to take all of our marketing experience, Vivian a little bit more experience than me, but it's fine. I still know what I'm doing.
I'd be a little concerned if after 15 years I didn't have a little more experience than you.
Yeah, exactly. But basically, we want to share all of the marketing knowledge that we have with you guys. And Vivian, what are we talking about today?
So today, it's actually pretty exciting because we are bringing a free resource to you guys, one that we know you're absolutely going to love. And if you don't or have never heard of this free resource, then you guys, please leave us a 5-star review because we're obviously sharing some really great information with you. But it is the Facebook ads library. Chelsea, I think they're calling it something a little different right now. Is that true?
Yes. Now it's the Meta ads library because, you know, Facebook is now Meta.
Yeah. So when we talk about Facebook ads library, it's the same exact thing as the Meta ads library. We'll probably use those interchangeably throughout this discussion, so don't get confused.
Vivian, should I go ahead and explain what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead and tell the people of the world out there, the small business owners, what the Facebook ads library is.
Okay, so this is a free searchable database with all of the active ads that are running on a Meta platform. So Meta includes Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, all of those game apps that they have, like, I don't know, Farmville, I think is one. All those Facebook games that you play.
Candy Crush is
also
Candy Crush
considered
part
of Meta. I'm not sure. Probably.
I don't think Candy Crush is. Yeah.
In college, I will tell you, in college, I was a huge Candy Crush person.
Really? That is very shocking to me because you don't strike me as a Candy Crush person.
I loved Candy Crush. I will say I lived off campus for the 2 years. I went to college for 3 years, graduated early. First year, you have to live on campus. The next 2 years, I lived off campus in an apartment with my best friends. I'm not buying a parking pass, okay? Those were expensive. And they had a shuttle. So I'd have to wait for the shuttle, get on the shuttle. I wasn't driving. So a lot of time was spent on Candy Crush.
Do they have like a goth version of Candy Crush? That's the only way I see you playing it.
They don't, but let me tell you, that would be really cool. I'd probably get back into it.
Here's an idea. Yeah, $1 million idea for you. Goth version of Candy Crush. Going back to the Facebook ads library. So as Chelsea said, it is free. And I would argue that this is probably one of the most underutilized tools out there for small business owners. If anything, just because maybe you've never heard of it. But think about this. As a small business owner who is using Facebook ads, if you have put an ad together in Facebook, you know that it's collecting a lot of data points, right? So it's asking you whether this ad has anything to do with social issues or politics or anything else. You have to flag those. If you're running ads for that, you have to tell Facebook that that's what it's geared towards. Additionally, it's also collecting the demographic information of the people that you're wanting to target. It collects the graphics or the video that you're uploading. It also collects all of that verbiage. You're telling it when to run the ad and also the location. And so when you think of it from that perspective, from the user on that end, that means it has a repository of all of this just floating out there. And how cool that as small business owners, we could tap into that.
I know, exactly. It's such a good resource that, again, I feel like people just don't know about it. So that's why we're having this entire discussion today, is because, if you're not using this, go for it. I do want to say the type of information you're going to get is going to depend on where the advertiser is in the world.
Okay.
Specifically EU. So in the EU, you're going to get more information. You're going to get location, gender, age, how many people the ad reached. Like, you're going to get a little bit more in-depth information than you are going to get from an ad that was ran here in the United States. The United States keeps it kind of vague.
And so that's because EU has stricter regulations in regards to tracking ads from businesses in general.
Yes, absolutely. And I do want to say, because you and I had this conversation earlier, you were saying it's really interesting that Facebook is sharing all of this information. And no, it's not. Because it makes sense. Facebook has, not to call you out, but it makes sense because Facebook has already been in so much trouble with the fact that they are gathering all this information and people feel like their privacy isn't being respected, all that stuff. So this is, I feel like, their way of being very transparent while at the same time not necessarily sharing this information, because this information is available. You can find it. How many people actually know about the Meta Ads library? It's not something that they promote, Yeah,
so they're not out there talking specifically about it all the time. Yeah,
exactly. So yes, the EU, you're going to get a lot more specific information, and you can gauge how an ad is doing. With the United States specifically, because that's what I'm seeing because I'm in the United States, with those ads, you're going to be able to see like the imagery, the captions, like the wording, all of that stuff. You're not going to see how well that ad is doing. And I just want to point that out.
So let's not gatekeep anymore. If you're wondering how you access this, simply go to facebook.com/ads/library, and it will pull up a kind of like a dashboard looking thing. So of those, what are some of the search filters, Chelsea, that people can search by?
Yeah, so you can pick if an ad is going to be related to political ads or if it's about housing or jobs. If you don't want those kind of ads, you can just select all ads. You can specifically look up an advertiser, so the Gap, or you could just put in a keyword and then see all of the current active ads that relate back to that keyword. You can filter by location. You can filter by who the advertiser is. You're not going to be able to filter based off of targeting. So like gender or age or stuff like that. Again, it's going to be a little more open, a little more vague, but you're still going to get good information. And really the point that we're bringing this up, the Meta Ads Library, the reason why it is useful is because it is a resource for you to get creative.
Yes. And I do want to go back and just make a suggestion. If you are going in and you are searching by brand name or business name, then what you want to be sure of is that you are using the official name that they show up on in Facebook. And the reason I say that is, you know how sometimes at the top when you go to a business's page, it'll say like, let's take The Gap, for example. If the business name is The Gap, but when they went to secure their official Facebook page, at the top it says facebook.com/Gap, but then the name on their handle is officially The Gap, then that the is very important. That's what you want to search by. And so just be sure that that's what you're being very cognizant of that, because it will not pull certain ads up if you're searching by, you know, an unofficial name.
Yes, exactly. So if you're going to use an advertiser's name, make sure you're getting the name right. If you're using keywords, it doesn't matter as much, of course. I want to say, if you're going to be using the ads library, get creative with it. Don't just look at what your industry is doing. Go to different industries, because maybe you'll see something that sparks your creativity and it's something that no one in your industry is doing. That's great. That's going to help you stand out. So don't limit yourself to just what's going on in your bubble, and don't limit yourself to only your competition.
Yeah, this is, even though everyone's like, ooh, it allows me to spy on my competition. Yes, it does do that. So if you want to look and see, if you're Papa John's and you want to see what ads Domino's Pizza ran last month, you'll absolutely be able to pull that for Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. The thing is, though, like Chelsea is saying, you're not really using or taking full advantage of what you could be doing with this type of information. If your goal is just to go in there and I'm Papa John's and I'm just copy and pasting what Domino's is doing, that's not going to set Papa John's apart. Okay. That's going to make me look exactly like my competitor, and that serves me no purpose, because the goal of marketing is to set yourself apart. But there are ways that you can look through this Facebook ads library and, like Chelsea said, not just gain creativity, but actually utilize some of what you're seeing from different industries to make your ads way more effective. And I think that's where it could help you with, you know, if you see, if you're looking at other people's ads that have the same target audience, that gives you insight into potentially what is working really well to attract that target audience.
Yes, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. Looking at industries that have the same target audience. Like, you don't have to just pick a random, like, oh, I sell cheese, so I'm going to look at what the shoe industry is doing. Like, no, what we mean is look at cheese and shoes. Those are the things that are on my mind, apparently. But looking at what different industries are doing that still connect with your target audience. Yes, be smart about it. There is something else I also want to say. And I found this very interesting while I was doing research for this episode. I found a lot of forums and a lot of small business owners saying, how do I not allow my ad to be in the ad library because I don't want my competitors to see what I'm doing? They're going to steal my marketing strategy when they look at my one ad. First off, no one's going to be able to learn your entire marketing strategy from an ad, especially a Facebook ad.
Hopefully not.
Second off, yes, we really hope no one should be able to know everything about your marketing strategy based off of one Facebook ad. Also, it goes both ways. If you're looking at what your competitors are doing, they're going to be able to look at what you're doing. And either way, ads are public. Like, it's not, when you create an ad, anyone can see it. If the meta ads library didn't exist, your competitor could still find your ad. It would just take them longer. But again, it's still public. So they are still able to see it.
Great points. And I do just want to reiterate that, y'all, if you watch any sport, whether that be basketball or football, you always have two sides to the coin. It's called cricket. I don't know about cricket. I'm not schooled in cricket, so I've never watched a cricket game in my life.
This came up because last night Tim was watching, like, he made me watch a YouTube video with him of someone explaining how cricket works. It was the most boring thing in my life, but I'm sorry.
Why was he watching that? Does he want to play cricket?
No, there's some baseball player that used to be in what's the baseball? The baseball league, whatever that is. And
MLB?
Now they're a cricket player. Yes, thank you.
It's called the Major League Baseball, babe.
So he was watching. Look, all I could think of was MLS, Major League Soccer. I forgot there was a B. Okay, anyways, he was watching like highlights of that guy specifically because Tim likes baseball. And he was like, I have no idea what any of these stats mean, which apparently meant that we had to learn cricket. So.
Well, you're schooled now, so that's great. But so you may be able to answer this question because I don't know if this applies to cricket, but almost on in every sport, there is an offense and a defense, y'all. Okay. If you're only claim to fame for marketing and you think the only way that you're going to keep your marketing on par and you're going to be able to beat out a competitor is by doing the defense and not doing the offense part of it, that's kind of silly, okay? There are two parts to this. So yes, it's good to, like Chelsea said, it's good to be able to see what your competitor is doing, not for the purpose of copying them, but just to know and keep a pulse on that. Likewise, it's smart for them to do the same thing on you. Otherwise, I don't think they're a worthy competitor, right? If they're not acknowledging that, that you also are a little competition to them. But the offense is where you guys are really going to get a lot more mileage because no matter how much time you spend sitting there thinking about your competitor, you could be using that time to, reinvest that time back into your business and actually develop some of these marketing strategies and hone in on making your Facebook ads way more effective. So do not be worried if that's you and you're thinking, how can I get these Facebook ads off of the Facebook ads library so my competitor can't see? You guys are focusing on the wrong thing. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah. I was really worried about you making a sports reference because I was like, ooh, we're the wrong people to be making sports references. But you did it perfectly. That made perfect sense.
Thank you. I mean, I hope I've watched enough football in my lifetime between Auburn, Gamecocks, and, everyone else. High school football. Like, I've watched a game or two, Chels.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I've watched a bunch of games. That doesn't mean I know what's going on, but...
Do you love making crafts and working on your small business but struggle to get them in front of customers?
Do craft fairs, events, or pop-ups leave you feeling overwhelmed or frustrated?
Introducing Rock Your Fair, the course designed to help you succeed in the world of craft fairs, pop-ups, and events, created by two marketing professionals with over 15 years of experience. Rock Your Fair is perfect for anyone who's new to the game or just wants to step up their game.
Our step-by-step approach will guide you you through everything you need to know, from choosing the right events, to setting up your booth, to marketing your products effectively.
And you know what? You'll also get access to us for personalized coaching and feedback so you can put your best foot forward.
Do not let craft fairs, pop-ups, and events hold you back. Sign up for Rock Your Fair today and start rocking your way to success.
For a limited time, get access to our free mini course. Simply head over to our website at www.theseasonedmarketer.com and click on workshops.
I just want to reiterate that the ads that are available in the Meta Ads library, they are going to be ads that are currently running. So you're not going to see any completed campaigns.
Yeah, and you will, if you're looking for, because we talked a little bit about that transparency law, and because there is such strict regulation with regards to political ads and also social issues. And what was the other one they tagged? It was jobs.
Housing,
jobs.
Housing and jobs.
Yeah. So if ads fall under any one of those categories, they do keep it in the ads library for 7 years. And I really do think that's because I know back in the day, Chelsea, we raised some money for a local politician through the organization that I work for. And when I talk about being super strict about keeping detailed record of who donated what monies and then officially how that showed up, I do know that for their books, they have to keep it very clean and precise. And so I'd imagine that that's why Facebook keeps a 7-year tab on that kind of stuff in case it were to come up in the future.
That makes sense. So let's just one more time reiterate, this is a free resource. So use it to get creative. Use it as a jumping point, a starting point. Look at your competition, sure, but also look at other industries, because it's going to help you get real creative when it comes to creating these ads. You can see what people are doing. You can specifically look at only Facebook ads or only Instagram ads. You can do that because, Instagram and Facebook, the way that their ads are formatted are going to be different. So depending on what you're looking for, what you're going to be trying to create, you can look at different forms of ads. But yeah, just using this resource to get creative and really just come up with the best ad possible. Because as a small business owner, you don't have money to be playing with, you need to make sure that your marketing strategies are doing well.
Yeah, and I do think that it's super helpful to get out of your own head sometimes and just kind of look around and see what other people are doing, because, everyone is so different and so creative. And so there is no reason for you to maybe reinvent the wheel. But if you see a headline that worked well in a different industry that has the same target audience, maybe it could be applicable to the way that you're representing your product and service, and you can tweak it for your use. But really the key here is we want you guys to, one, be able to know that these resources are out there, because that is half the battle. If you are struggling with Facebook ads and you don't know that you could go to Facebook ads library to just view all of the ads that are out there that are running on Facebook and Instagram and these partner platforms, then now you do. Now you have a resource that you can take full advantage of. We highly encourage you to go on there and just spend maybe 10 minutes today, facebook.com/ads/library, and play around with the filters. See what filters you have to really drill down and pull some of these ads up. Take a look at the captions, take a look at the call to actions, take a look at the imagery that they're using. That's the one thing that I can tell you has helped me the most, because I am not a graphic design girl, but whenever we are running an ad, it does help a lot, because either I see a couple things. The way the colors that people use, sometimes they're using very vibrant oranges to catch people's attention and to stand out, because as people are scrolling through their phone, a vibrant orange will pop. Also, I think it helps with whether people are using photos of the actual product or if they're using photos of actual people. Stock images, you don't see a whole lot of people using stock images anymore on these Facebook ads. And so these are small little things that you can start to piece together to apply to your campaign if you're going on here and just kind of seeing what's working well for other people.
Great. I think this was an informative episode. I don't know if I left this piece in from last week's episode, but I had said, oh, this was a great informative episode. And then you called me out and you said, when are you going to say it's not an informative episode? So now that's all I can think about whenever I say, oh, this was really informative.
Well, if it's something that, if you're listening to this and it's something that really you did not know, please share this with a fellow business friend, because like Chelsea said, Facebook's not out there promoting this. They're not telling us that this is available to everyone. So please, it's our responsibility to help a fellow business owner out. And so if you have friends that probably do not know about this, share this episode with them. It's short enough. It's a quick listen and they'll get a ton of value out of it. And maybe you'll even get a Christmas present out of it.
Ooh. And make sure to leave us a 5-star review if you didn't know this information. And if you have topics that you want us to talk about, you can email us, you can DM us, you can tag us and stuff. We look at all of that stuff. So any topic you want us to talk about, we can do that as well. The S.O.B. Marketing Podcast is a branch of the Seasoned Marketer. So if you found this podcast first, go check out the Seasoned Marketer, 𝘕𝘦𝘦𝘦𝘥.com. You can find all of our free resources. We have free downloads, blog posts. We have over 200 videos in our catalog on our YouTube channel, The Seasoned Marketer. Just go ahead and use all of the free resources that you can use because you know what? Being a small-owned business is not easy. So we are here to help you guys with your marketing. Go out there and be the best SOB you can be.